Hi, I'm Sherry Kay, Jazzy Gourmet, and I know that bread making can seem like kind of a daunting, time-consuming task, but really it's quite easy to do, and the actual hands-on part of the process is not all that much. Just watch and see. A basic bread dough consists of water, flour, yeast, and salt. So let's start by heating the water to a temperature of 105 to 110 degrees. Pour the water into your mixing bowl and sprinkle yeast over the top of it. This process is called proofing the yeast to make sure that it is still active. Adding a small amount of sugar or honey to the yeast helps in the proofing process. Give the mixture a stir and wait about 5 to 10 minutes. In the meantime, put a bowl on your kitchen scale and add some flour to it. For a 1-pound loaf of bread, you should use about 20 ounces of flour. When you start to smell the yeast and see that it is bubbly and foamy on top of the water, that means that it's active. Yay! At this point, you can add flour to your yeast mixture. I use the paddle attachment on my mixer until everything is well combined, and then either I switch to the dough hook or I knead the dough by hand. There are some who believe that salt interferes with the active process of the yeast, so I always add the flour first and then the salt after that. When the dough is well mixed and separates from the side of the bowl, it is time to knead it. Sprinkle some flour onto your counter or a cutting board and turn the dough out onto the flour. Now, to knead the dough, I use the heel and flip method. That is, I press with the heel of my hand, flip it over, and press with the heel of my other hand. You'll want to knead the dough until it's smooth and elastic. When you press into the dough, the indentation should spring back. That usually takes me about 10 minutes. Coat the interior of the bowl with oil. If there's a lot of debris left over in the bowl, then use a clean bowl. Then place the dough in the bowl. Flip the dough over so that it is coated on both sides, and then cover with a clean, moist towel. Stick into a warm place to rise until doubled in size, about an hour. What I like to do is to turn the oven on for about a minute, turn it off, and then put the dough in there. Now, say it's a busy cooking day like Thanksgiving or something, and your oven is filled with turkey and dressing. Well, an alternative is to run your dryer for a minute and then stick your dough in there. You'd be amazed how well it rises in your dryer. So that leaves you plenty of time to read a good book, do some dusting, maybe mow the yard, or after the dough has risen, punch it down and let it rest for about 15 minutes. Then you can shape it into a pizza crust, or some rolls, or even a loaf of bread. Now, see how easy that was?